Wondering who really owns the land of Israel? The land of Israel has been populated by the Jewish people consistently since approximately 2000 BC. That means that for around 4,000 years the Israelites have been living there. Here's the approximate timeline as found in the most historically accurate account available, the Bible. 1900 BC, Abraham chosen by God as the father of the Jewish nation. 1900 BC, Isaac, Abraham's son, living in Israel. 1850 BC, Jacob, son of Isaac, living in Israel. 1400 BC, Moses leads the people out of Egypt and back to Israel. 1010 BC, King David unites the 12 tribes into one nation. 970 BC, King Solomon, son of David, builds the first temple structure in Jerusalem. 930 BC, Israel is divided into two kingdoms, the Kingdom of Israel and the Kingdom of Judah. 800 BC, the rise of many of the prophets, God's messengers. 722 BC, Kingdom of Israel is conquered by Assyrians. 605 BC, Kingdom Judah is conquered by the Babylonians. 586 BC, Solomon's temple is destroyed by the Babylonians. 539 BC, Persians conquer the Babylonians and take control of Israel. 538 BC, the Jews return to Israel from exile. 520 BC, the temple is rebuilt. 450 BC, reforms made by Ezra and Nehemiah. 433 BC, Malachi is the end of the prophetic age, last Old Testament book. 432 BC, the last group of Jews return from exile. 333 BC, the Greeks conquer the Persian Empire. 323 BC, the Egyptian and Syrian Empire take over Israel. 70 BC, Romans conquer Israel. 20 BC, King Herod builds the third temple. 6 BC, Jesus Christ is born in Bethlehem. 70 AD, Romans destroy the temple. After that, the people were captives to the Romans, Byzantines, Arabs, and Crusaders. Through all of these events, the Jewish people continued to live in Israel. There were more or less of them, depending on the centuries, but there was never a time when the Jews didn't live in the land. They stayed, they built their communities, they raised their families, practiced their faith, and they suffered at the hands of many outside rulers, but the Jewish people continued to live in the promised land that God had given them. It is God's promise of a land flowing with milk and honey that sustains them, even now. In 1948, the UN established the State of Israel, the nation of Jews. Numbers 34, 1:15. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel, and say to them, when you come into the land of Canaan, this is the land that shall fall to you as an inheritance, the land of Canaan to its boundaries. Your southern border shall be from the wilderness of Zin along the border of Edom. Then your southern border shall extend eastward to the end of the Salt Sea. Your border shall turn from the southern side of the ascent of Akrabim, continue to Zin, and be on the south of Kadesh Barnea. Then it shall go on to Hazar Adar, and continue to Asman. The border shall turn from Asman to the brook of Egypt, and it shall end at the sea. As for the western border, you shall have the great sea for a border. This shall be your western border. And this shall be your northern border. From the great sea you shall mark out your borderline to Mount Hor. From Mount Hor you shall mark out your border to the entrance of Hamath. Then the direction of the border shall be toward Zedad. The border shall proceed to Ziphron, and it shall end at Hazer, Enon. This shall be your northern border. You shall mark out your eastern border from Hazer Enon to Shepham. The border shall go down from Shepham to Riblah on the east side of Ain. The border shall go down and reach to the eastern side of the Sea of Chinnereth. The border shall go down along the Jordan, and it shall end at the Salt Sea. This shall be your land with its surrounding boundaries. Then Moses commanded the children of Israel, saying, This is the land which you shall inherit by lot, which the Lord has commanded to give to the 9 tribes and to the half-tribe. For the tribe of the children of Reuben according to the house of their fathers, and the tribe of the children of Gad according to the house of their fathers, have received their inheritance, and the half-tribe of Manasseh has received its inheritance. The 2 tribes and the half-tribe have received their inheritance on this side of the Jordan, cross from Jericho, eastward, toward the sunrise. The image on the left shows the current size of Israel. However, the image on the right shows the land of Canaan that God gave them as an inheritance. According to God's word, Gaza, areas of Egypt, Lebanon, the West Bank, the Golan Heights, parts of Jordan and Syria are within the promised land and also belong to the people of Israel, so they actually own far more than what they are currently occupying.